It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. I first and foremost wanted to hold space. My lighting is a little, underwhelming. I'm in the car and it's dark. Getting ready to take my trip back to my domicile where I reside, and I stopped by my mother's house with my sister, and it's been a while. I've been very quiet and reserved into myself, and I have a wonderfully happy life. I don't really have anything to complain about, but some things are shifting, and there's a lot going on in the world, and so many different people are suffering. Some people look at suffering as complete and utter lack of resources and lack of the things that they need, but suffering is not just simply that. Suffering sometimes is quiet. Sometimes suffering is not feeling like you have the answers to the things that you need. Suffering could be sickness. Suffering could be, not having the family that you need and that you want for support. Suffering could be lack of financial backing. Suffering could be emotional and within your own psyche. Suffering could be losing a loved one. Suffering could be not having the best relationship with your children or with a partner. Suffering could be a multitude of things that show up in a multitude of ways. And I'm wondering, for those who don't have a solitary practice of maybe meditation or chanting, or maybe you don't have prayer, what do you do in these times where you feel overwhelmed? And even if you do have a practice, right, you might just be overwhelmed. You're human. And I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at the moment. My sister does as much as she can to be present, but she has her own challenges, and that just makes my mother's situation that much harder. I'm often very quiet. My mom is, she was diagnosed very late with dementia, but we saw the symptoms of it when she was about, well, at least I did, saw the symptoms of it when she was about 65, but she fought me tooth and nail for many years to be diagnosed. She didn't want to go see the doctor to see if she had it, so by the time it had already progressed, there's not much they could do for her. They told her she had, they told me that, she was senile, and I said, no, we need to get a diagnosis so we can ensure that we get her the assistance that she needs. And homes are just not, if you're not paying $8,000 to $10,000 a month in memory care, even then you have someone else that's taking care of your family members. But it's so much deeper than that, right? Like, you don't know if those people are going to take good care of them, but even if they do, it's like, if you're paying more money, you can get a little bit better level of care. And when your parents don't prepare for these moments, they get Medicaid and they have Medicare, but very few homes that are of like a certain standard of care take Medicaid. So she would stay in the community with her family, and so we've been taking care of her. I was her primary caretaker for 3 years, and then my sister has been here on and off for the last 2 years. And again, she has her own challenges, and I won't divulge her business, but it's been very difficult. It's been very, very challenging. Even with her here, because of her challenges, I get overwhelmed at times. And I hold a lot of things in. I don't really speak as much, because people have their own problems, right? But in the same token, I have a wonderful partner who is very supportive. And then she has her children. We have a 19-year-old who's just graduated last year, and now she's deciding if she wants to go back to school or work full time. So We're just trying to encourage her to make the best decision. She either's going to work full-time or go back to school, one of the two. She doesn't want to go to the military, and we really don't want her to go to the military. And then our two adult children are living outside of the home, but they need assistance, but we can't really, everybody need help, but you can't help nobody until you help yourself. You can only give from the overflow. But when you have a parent who needs you, it's really challenging. And then running a business, and then my partner works full time. We need a vacation. It'd be nice. My dream life, my ideal life would be to live on an island somewhere. It's super cold. I'm in Jersey, between Jersey and Philadelphia. I hate it here. The snow is cold. It's supposed to be, it's 19 degrees right now. It's 19 degrees right now. It's supposed to drop down to 5. I want to go on somebody's island and sip pina colada and get lost in the rain. I don't even know if that's the words of the song, but I just want to disconnect from it all. So my question is really to the audience of people who do watch my videos and who interact. What is it that you do to keep yourself sane during these times? And there's times that I watch the news and it just absolutely, I just eat my popcorn and I just laugh. But for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been completely unplugged. I want to cultivate I'm working on getting back to cultivating a place of peace within myself. Not that I'm not in peace, but I would like to cultivate more of a solitary practice of peace, and leave the stuff that's in the world outside of the world. Social media is a groundswell for negativity. There seems to be more people online with less compassion. And it does something to you. It really does. I saw a post where, they talked about Don Lemon getting taken in the middle of the night by DHS, federal agents who have not been vetted, by the way. They've not been vetted. These people are criminals. This is the criminals from January 6th who are knocking on people's doors and coming and picking them up for this fascist regime that we have in America. It just is what it is. And they picked Don Lemon up, who he's a journalist. He was fired from CNN, and he's been running basically his own platform on YouTube where he has millions of followers, where he's just giving the news based on a perspective that is not narrated by this fascist regime. And so they picked him up, and they took him. We live in serious times, and although it's very important that we know what's going on, there also needs to be a space where we can cultivate peace within ourselves and within our network and our support systems, because there's a lot to take in. And the reason why I brought that up is we need to make sure we have a support system. He was let go in his own recognizance because he does have a support system. So for those of us, when we get overwhelmed and when we're inundated with things from the universe and we're inundated from things that are happening within our lives, who do you have to fall back on? Who's your support system? And how do you mend those moments within yourself that cause you to feel overwhelmed, and how do you deal with them? So one of the ways that I deal is by talking. I talk to those that I love. I talk to my daughter, and I talk to, my best friend and my friends, and I talk to my family members that I do have relationships with. And I have a therapist, and I talk to my therapist, and still sometimes that does not seem like enough. So, it's just all about, I suppose, about, really digging into my own spirituality, which I have been doing, and staying steadfast in that, and chanting, putting your faith first, getting up early in the morning, and doing whatever your spiritual practice is, whether it's you're praying to Allah, or you're praying to Jesus Christ, or you're having a conversation with God in the morning. Like me, my conversation starts at my Gahunzen, sharing what I'm dealing with in my inner life with my Gahunzen, which is the object of devotion. It's not we don't pray to Buddha. We are speaking to our life from the life in front of us and polishing the mirror of our lives in front of our life in order to bring about the best human potential in any given moment, in any given day, to be able to go out into the world and cultivate a place of peace. And so today was just really difficult. I came into my house. My sister, she's struggling. She broke her toe. So she's not able to keep things clean like she normally does. And I'm running a business and I have to go back and forth. And I'm just at a place where, sometimes I think about, I know my mom would not like to live in a home, but I'm trying to find a solution to where I can find really good care for somebody to come in a home and take my role while I focus on my business, because it would take a lot off my plate. And I'm really just talking to you guys, and finding out. I would like you to leave comments and tell me what some of your ways that you cultivate peace in your own life and in your own personal life and within your own religion. What's some of the things that you're doing? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Do you have a relationship with the Orisha? We all have something that speaks to our hearts. I don't knock anybody's religion, as long as they are doing what brings them peace. And I always ask because I want to know, is there something I can add to my life that might actually benefit my life? I don't get into, my religion is better than yours. Yours is better than mine. We have enough of division and divisiveness in the world where people just feel like their religion is the top religion and you got to do what they say do. If it's not done in the name of love, then it ain't been doing right, and that's just what it is. I don't care what your religion is. If you're using it to accost people and to lock people up, are you really working in Jesus' name? Or are you just talking about being a Christian and you really have no love in your heart at all? Because I see it and I watch it, and people are really going through it, like them detaining a child in ICE and not giving her I think a kid passed away in ICE's, they picked her up and I think they didn't give her the care that she needed. It's just trying times. Community is so very important. And how are we cultivating community in a place where people just simply don't trust each other because of all the things that are going on? I went to the diner today with my love. I met her after work and we went and had, we had food at like 3 o'clock, had late lunch, and there was this wonderful woman. I don't want to assume where she was from because I didn't ask, but she was immigrant, and she gave us amazing service, and I left her a wonderful tip, and she just was so loving and so kind, and we need that in the world. We are lacking kindness. Kindness is something that is becoming, it's rare to come by. It's even rarer to experience. And when you are kind, people think that you want something from them because they haven't really ever received kindness. The world has been very cold to people. And, I won't make it about race because I don't think it's about that. But many people are suffering. And, if you could be kind to somebody, you never know what they're going through. Everybody deserves kindness because they're human. I don't care what your race, religion, I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what your gender is. If you're a human being who breathes air through your lungs when you breathe in through the morning through your nose and out through your mouth, you deserve respect. You deserve dignity. You deserve kindness. You deserve compassion. And I just want to be that space where if you come past this video and you want to leave a kind word or you just want to say something, I will definitely get back to you. I would definitely try to encourage you. That's what I always do. I just wanted to come and talk and just see how we're all coping and what is it that you feel you need and what is it that you're doing to bring yourself a sense of peace in your center. And so I'll leave you with that. Thank you for listening. I look forward to more conversations like this as they are absolutely needed in this time. Take care of yourself. Take care of those you love.